It's time for another megasode. In episode 10 of Hermitcraft Season 7, we built up all of the frameworks for the outside area of my base, and that was fantastic. You know, we managed to make it work, we got them constructed, but they're still completely hollow. The only one that we have that is fully filled in is this one right here, and hopefully that is going to change in today's Hermitcraft episode, because I'm hoping that I should be able to get all of the other ones fully constructed and filled. Now, I am going to say at the start of this episode that there could be one potential bottleneck here that could prevent us from being able to do it. It's not concrete. We can get concrete just by going out and brute forcing a whole bunch of resources. The thing that could limit us is actually iron blocks. You see, I'm limited by the speed of my iron farm. My iron farm's great, but this is so big. This requires so many iron blocks that could be where we run into a slight issue. With that being said, I have stockpiled 2 double chests, and we have, I think, around about 6 double chests of concrete, including the hoppers out the back. So I'm hoping, I mean, we're going to be able to make a decently sized dent, okay? Let's see what happens, shall we? I'm going to start placing in the blocks, and we will just see what happens. Well, first things first, I would have built this up on totally the wrong framework. This is terrible. No wonder I built this thing in totally the wrong area. This is the worst template I think I've ever done. So, just to give you guys a rain check, I would say that these are easier to build than the outlines. Okay, so that's like the first thing. Not sure how it's going to go with the diagonals now that I think about it, because they are probably going to be disgustingly horrible, much like the outlines were. But the one thing that I have found with these is that obviously they just use silly amounts of resources. They really do. I've done like a tiny section of it, and I'm getting concerned for my iron supplies. Yeah, I would say I'm about a quarter of the way through my iron. We are approaching finalized status though. If I just place in these last couple of rows, don't worry, I am going to light up the inside of these things as well, because otherwise they are going to become gigantic mob farms, which would be cool. Would be cool to do it, but I mean, it would be... I have considered it, and I'm still kind of considering it, but for now I definitely have to light it up, because otherwise I'm just going to lag out the server with all the mobs in here. Anyway, this thing is now done. Let's just fly out and take a look. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, cool. Cool. I cannot wait to see this thing when they're all in place. Oh, it's going to look absolutely nuts. It's going to look absolutely nuts, and that color combo is just perfect. I'll tell you what else looks pretty perfect, though. This, wow, look at that. Man, see, I wish I had talent in building things like that. Oh, that is gorgeous. That is ridiculously gorgeous. Anyway, here we go again. Tower number 2. Let's get this going. My technique of randomizing blocks is working perfectly as per usual, and I'm feeling happy. And after putting 3 inventories worth of blocks into this thing, it's looking cool. It's looking cool. I'm also loving the mega bases that we can see. I love how close everyone is this season. Or has my base just expanded into everyone else's space? I don't know. 2 down, 6 to go. We are 1/3 of the way done, which is actually honestly quite impressive. Wait, have I done my maths wrong? 2 down, 5 to go. How embarrassing. Oh, dear. Okay, well, that's the last of my iron. Alright, we're going to be... we're going to be running low. I'm going to have to do a lot of AFKing throughout today's episode. Thankfully, because this is a megasode, I have got 3 days. I've got 3 days to actually record this thing. I'm hoping that I can farm enough iron in that time to actually get these things built. I'm hoping. I really am. Honestly, Scar's base is actually distracting from up here. It is distractingly good. It's throwing me off my game. Okay, I keep forgetting what I'm doing because I get distracted by how cool this place looks. Scar's base aside, our base is actually coming together quite well too, because we've got all of the straight builds all finished. So each one of these is now done, looking pretty cool. I'm fairly happy with how much we've managed to do, but of course we've hit the bottleneck that I was expecting. This is all the iron that I have left on the Hermitcraft server now, and we're halfway done. So yeah, I guess I'll AFK. We'll see where we're at tomorrow. I mean, it's only 3 in the afternoon right now, so I suppose that's around about 20 hours of AFKing I reckon we can do. Hopefully that gives me enough to do at least 2 more, and then I can do the same thing again. You know, we can just kind of repeat the process. I guess we'll have to wait and see. After going AFK for around about 8, maybe 9 hours, I realised there was no way this was going to work. So I got in contact with Tango and asked him if he'd be interested in doing an iron loan, and it seems like it could be on the cards. So let's see. I mean, what could possibly go wrong?
I hear you're in need of something.
Yes, I'm in need of... hang on, just give me a second.
No problem.
Yeah, quite a bit of... iron. And when me placing down these shulker boxes, by the way, these are not for iron ingots. These are strictly for iron blocks, dude. I hope that's okay.
So first of all, yeah, that's totally okay. But of course, it's my duty to kind of give it to you because I thought you had an iron farm.
Well, yeah. See, I am rocking an iron farm, and my iron farm is fast. Okay, and it is working well, and it's done okay. I had 2 double chests of iron blocks, and I kind of thought, that might be enough. And then I built up 3 of my gigantic kind of spanner wrench things, whatever people are calling them, down in the comment section. And yeah, I've run out. So
okay. So you've done the math and you figured out how many you need to finish all of them?
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, this is my maths though, so if I do message you somewhat later on,
I need another 6 double chests of blocks. Yeah. You want to look like right here, I think.
Oh my goodness.
This is the column.
What on earth sort of iron farm are you running? Because although mine is kind of decently quick.
Yeah, I've got a custom design. I mean, you know me, I like to do my own iron farms. But yeah, I have, it's like 16 kind of villager nodes or mods or whatever you call them.
Whoa. So that is, I mean, how much, if we're going to go into raw numbers and digits now, how much iron are we talking kind of per hour? Is it?
I haven't figured out the per hour, but it basically every 35 seconds it spawns 16 golems.
Okay, so that's gonna produce a decent amount of iron.
Stupid amount. Yeah, it's pretty stupid. Yeah, it's backed up. My whole storage is filled up. I gotta craft blocks again today.
Yeah, there's no way we're not taking a closer look at this thing. What is that flying anvil, dude?
Yeah, that's my flying anvils.
wait. You're gonna have to do more explanation of what.
You don't have flying anvils at your base? Come on.
Oh my goodness, I can.
All right, come on over here. I'll show you. Yeah.
So, is there any functional reason as to why this is happening, or is this just?
Yeah, you've got a smile on your face right now.
Okay,
right?
so that is the functional reason. Okay.
Absolutely no purpose at all. It's cartoony. I'm making the cartoon base and I'm trying to make it,
as cartoony as possible.
Yeah.
This is so cool. I love the idea of, because, sometimes all of us can get a little bit bogged down in like efficiency and trying to make the most efficient ways of doing things.
I'm done with that. Yeah, I'm more about being silly and fun now.
And I think the definition of silly and fun is Tango's creeper farm. So this is...
Yeah, a little creeper splat zone, so they shoot out of the cannons at the top and splat down here.
Man, oh yeah, look, I can see. That is...
Here they
go. This is so spectacular. Anyway, I think that's enough base touring. Now it's time to get down to business.
I got a favor to ask of you, if you don't mind.
All right, okay.
All right, so listen, you can see what I'm doing here, right? I need... And I gotta come to the master, right? I'm a redstone guy, but hey, where you going?
So that was my magic trick for today, apparently. Just disappear.
For my next trick, I will fall in a hole. All right, so I gotta come to the expert for this. You see this blue building here, right?
Yeah.
I'm thinking a huge, and now that honey blocks are out, right? I'm thinking like a huge door that starts right here,
okay,
and goes up like maybe 20 blocks and is like 10 blocks wide or something.
I like this idea.
Something cartoony and something epic, and you're the guy.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but that sounds like a pretty good deal. I get stacks upon stacks of free iron, and I get to build an awesome door. That's, in fact, that's the perfect deal. Anyway, I have 2 more days of recording time left to build up the 4 diagonals. Now, when I was doing the outlines, they took half a day each. So that means that I should be on track if the insides of these things take the same amount of time, because the diagonals are always... They're just horrible. They're horrible. They look amazing, but they're horrible to build. So that there was the easy bit. Now it's time for the slightly more challenging bit of moving this thing up diagonally while also going diagonally. I'm not entirely certain how I'm actually going to do that. I imagine it's also going to waste a ton of blocks. It actually doesn't. It actually doesn't waste a ton of blocks, and it's actually quite easy. Once you get the rhythm, it's fine, and it looks... sweet. It looks seriously cool. Man, that's put me in a good mood. That's put me in a good mood because I've been stressing about this for weeks. But no, this is no problem whatsoever. We should cruise through this. I mean, obviously I'm using the term cruise a little bit loosely here because it definitely isn't fast. It's not a fast thing to construct, but this should be the final blocks. There we go. That is this one all finished and completed, I think. That looks awesome. That looks seriously good. And it doesn't look like I've made any mistakes. All of it looks like it's in proportion. It's all got the right gaps. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. But before we move on to the next one, I feel like I should address something that I've seen popping up down in the comment section, which is that the diagonals are ever so slightly shorter than the straight ones. Now, this is true. You can see it's probably around about 3 to 4 blocks shorter. And this is simply thanks to maths, okay? There's nothing we can do about it. These diagonals are longer than the straight edges, so that means we have to make a compromise. You either make a disproportionate mess, which would be horrible, but it would be the same height, or you make it ever so slightly shorter, but have it the same proportions. And obviously, I went for the shorter option, because disproportionate just doesn't sound good, does it? I gotta tell you, this is actually really satisfying constructing these. It's a satisfying experience, as opposed to being frustrating. The outlines were definitely considerably more frustrating than doing the inside bits. We've just flown through this. We've absolutely blasted through it, and it is now, we have got half of this thing is actually done. Like, this is what it's going to look like, and it looks unreal. It looks totally unreal. There is one other thing that I want to do in today's Hermitcraft episode outside of finishing up the outside of my mega base, and that is do a little bit of work on the button. So the button has been in like a testing phase over the past couple days. My first setup with the redstone clocks was way too slow. I came back like 2 days later and it was only in the blue zone. So I reset the button and I've sped up the redstone clocks a little bit. And this is what has happened in the time that I've been playing on the Hermitcraft server. So you can see that we are... Actually, we've literally just moved into being in the green zone. So I would say that's about right. You know, half a day, it loses half of its thing. I guess it will go to the bottom within a day of people playing consistently on the server. That seems balanced. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to write out a little instruction manual for all of the hermits. I'm also going to have to put all of the prize concrete in the dropper because I actually haven't done any of that yet. And then we'll get this thing sorted and ready to open. The button is going to be alive as of today. Can we all agree that green dye is the most frustrating dye to get? I mean, I'm open to suggestions here, but you have to go out and get it, and then you have to put it in a smelter. That's annoying. Ooh, but black dye, squid are annoying. Thankfully, we don't need any black concrete in this system here, but now everything is set up. We've got the reward system. That's good. This is a bit of a risk, okay? A massive risk, but I forgot the arrows for my bow, but I need to repair my elytra, so... Run! Run! The button. What is it? The button is alive and has to be kept alive by being pressed. The closer to death the button is when you save it, the higher rank you get, signified by a coloured belt put on your skin. How does it work? If you press the button, the redstone lamps will fill back up and you will get a coloured piece of concrete. This is your rank and you should then attach your rank belt to your skin. Blah 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 blah. Can I customize my belt? Yes, it doesn't even have to be a belt, it just has to be the right colour. Do I get a prize for saving it in red? No, but everyone will think you're awesome and purple belts will bow down to you. Should you laugh at people who are a lower rank than you? Yes, 100% yes. Can I press it more than once? Yes, but your belt corresponds to your most recent press, meaning that you could drop to a lower rank. Any other questions, just ask. It's all fun and games, but people with purple belts should be ridiculed. Long live the button, Mumbo. And with that, this is no longer a test. The button is now alive. It needs to be kept alive by the members of the Hermitcraft server. So Hermits, if you're watching this, please don't let this thing die within like a couple of days, because that will be super embarrassing. Now I'm going to start the ball rolling by embracing the purple belt, the lowest rank of the server. It seems like a good place to start. You know, I just need to get the ball rolling. So there it is, and here I am. It's embarrassing. Okay, Hermits, feel free to laugh at me, alright? Please. And hopefully I get a higher rank soon. Anyway, let's get back to business, shall we? We've got 2 more of these diagonals to finish up, and then that will be the mega base all done and dusted, at least for the time being. We do still have a mega tower to build in the center that goes right the way up to the sky limit, and also, I mean, in theory, this outer octagon here is meant to go all the way down to bedrock, but we'll see about that. I think it's finally starting to dawn on me just how ambitious my base goals actually are. I am definitely finding my rhythm now. Things are coming together really nice and quickly. I'm managing to make a lot of progress in a slightly shorter amount of time. I mean, don't get me wrong, these things, they're still taking hours to fill in. And you have to remember the amount of background work that's gone in beforehand. Of course, we did the live stream where we gathered all of the sand and the gravel and all of the dyes so that we can actually make the concrete. And then, of course, I did an episode recently where I think I did like a 2.5 hour long time lapse of me just using that concrete maker that you can see behind me in the background there. So a lot of work's gone in beforehand, but still, it feels good when we're just flowing. It's just uninterrupted placing of blocks. Unless, of course, obviously I want to interrupt myself by rambling on a bunch. Right, let's get back to work. Final few blocks going in for this tower here. And that means that we are now at 7 out of 8. 7 out of 8? It is 8, isn't it? Yes, 7 out of 8. So we've got one more left to do. But, sorry, I keep doing the same thing, okay? But honestly, didn't know if this day was ever going to come. We're getting there. We're getting there. Right, let's get to it. Let's not wait around. And actually, now that I'm looking at my resources, I think, yeah, we're definitely going to have way too much concrete. So we've only actually ended up using around about 4 double chests of concrete and a similar amount of iron. Which is, that's quite impressive. I guess the diagonals just are slightly smaller than these ones, so we end up using less resources, which is pretty good to know. I can feel it. We are on the home straight now. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. We are almost done. This is the last section. We're now on the upright. This is exciting. We're in like the final footsteps here. We're in the final footsteps. Look at this tiny amount of space that we have left to do. I'm kind of running out of running metaphors now, I guess. Crossing the finish line? We just crossed the finish line. God, that was a dull way to say that we finished this huge, enormous project that has taken me likely around about 80 hours. Me just not being able to find the words. We've crossed the finish line. That's what I chose to say. And my purple belt is there, making me look stupid. I'm going to go into the nether. I'm going to see if I can get a higher rank. What am I doing? That's not the priority. Let's actually look at the base. Honestly, I think what might have happened here is I genuinely don't know how to react to this. I don't know how to react to the fact that I've just finished the outside of my base. Whoa. Oh my goodness, that's a change. Oh. Oh my goodness, look at this. We've actually done it. We've built them. We've built the outside. That looks bonkers. That looks totally bonkers, doesn't it? I mean, obviously, so the accent is on this one, and I'm honestly, now that I'm looking at it, now that they're all in place, I don't know about the accents. I actually quite like just these crazy systems here. Honestly, I'm a bit lost for words. You might be able to tell. I kind of don't know what to say right now. I do feel immensely proud of this build. I'm really, really happy with how much progress we've managed to make. I'm happy with how the block palette has ended up working out. I'm impressed that I actually managed to build it without too many major mishaps or anything like that. Obviously, we did have to rebuild a few of the outlines, but for the most part, it's actually been plain sailing. And I just want to say again, a huge shout out to Vesco, who is a Reddit user who posted a picture of their base onto Reddit, and it got a huge number of upvotes. I saw that, and that is what has been the inspiration for this build. So I saw that and I was like, wow. It was just before Hermitcraft Season 7 started. I saw it and I was like, wow, well, that's crazy. I wonder if I can emulate something like that. And actually, Vesco has just posted a tour of the world on YouTube, and I'll put a link to that down in the description so you can see how bonkers it is, because it's crazy. It's prismarine, it's ocean themed, there's floating stuff in the middle. It's pretty wicked. But anyway, there we go. That is phase 1 of the mega base all completed. We have now got the outer area done. So next up, I guess it is time to start work on the central island, and then eventually the tower, and then eventually all of the bits that are going to be happening under the ground. This base is going to be one that takes a long, long time. but it's one that I think by the end of the season should look completely wild. Anyway, I hope that you've enjoyed. I hope you've enjoyed the process, and I will catch you in the next Hermitcraft episode. See ya. You might be able to tell at the end, I've run out of juice. I'm pleased with myself. I'm pleased with myself. It feels good to get that stage done. I think I honestly don't know what to say. It's very rare that I'm lost for words. I can talk to myself all day long, but today I'm lost for words. I'm genuinely so pleased.